Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make this very simple and pretty kimono throw on, which you can also wear with a belt, as you can see in the video. This tutorial is going to be very quick and beginner friendly, so make sure you watch until the end. Alright, let's get right into it. So we're going to be using about 2 yards of fabric, and as you can see, I folded it 4 times, just like you see in the video. And this is because we're going to be cutting the back and the front at the same time. So now we're going to move on to drafting, and we're going to start from this center point. For the back neckline, we're going to be using 2.5 inches. You can use 3 inches as well. And then at the bottom, we're going to be using 1 inch. So we shall just draw in that curve, as you can see. Then I'll also get half of my shoulder measurements, which is 7 in this case. And then I'll just mark it there. And then from that point, I'm going to mark my sleeve length, which was 17 3/4 in this case, and this includes the sewing allowance of the sleeve. So just a reminder, we're not separating the back and the front at the shoulder point. So from that point, we're going to go down by 10 inches for the sleeve opening. You can make yours wider or narrower depending on your preference. So we shall just mark that out, and then we shall draw a line. So the next thing is we shall be getting the widest circumference of our body, which is the hips for me, and I'll divide that by 4. So my hip circumference is 42 inches. Divide by 4, it gives us 10.5 inches, which I'll mark. And then I'll be adding 4 inches of ease. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark that. And then I'll be transferring that measurement all the way to the hem. So for my full length, I'm going to be using 38 inches, and that includes the sewing allowance at the hem as well. I'll then go ahead to join those points with a straight line up to the hem. And so that's it for the back. For the front neckline, I'm going to just go down by about 8 inches, and then I'll just join it with a straight line, just like you see in the video. You can just carve it out a bit as you're getting to that point so that you don't have a very sharp V. That will make it easier when you're attaching the neckline band. We can also go ahead and mark the pocket position, which is going to be 18 inches from our shoulder point. We shall just draw a line there, and after that we're going to start by cutting out our back neckline, just like you see in the video. And then we shall also draw a curve around the armhole, just like you see me do. It's not supposed to be a sharp corner. So after we're done with that, we shall just cut through up to the hemline. After we're done, we shall keep that piece aside. I'll be using it for the pockets. We shall then go ahead and notch the center of the back neckline, and then we shall open up the throw on as you see in the video. Then we shall hold that front bit and put it back on fold, and then we shall be cutting out the front neckline. So after we're done cutting out the front neckline, we shall also cut out the center, just like you see in the video. So the front will be separated into 2. We're then going to measure all around the neckline up to the hem. As you can see, we shall stop there at the center of the back neckline. Then we shall multiply that by 2 to get the full length of the neckline band. You can also add some extra allowance just for any mismatches. So mine will be 86 inches long. I'll just go ahead and cut that on fabric. As you can see, I've put it on fold, and each of those sides is 4 inches wide, just like you can see in the video. So I'll just go ahead and cut that out, and then I'll join the 2 pieces right sides facing each other by 0.5 inches, just so that I can make a longer strip. So we're going to move on to cutting the pockets. We shall put these 2 pieces together, then we shall measure 10 inches for the length and then 7 inches for the width of the pocket. We shall then go and cut that out. So like I told you, that 10 inches is going to be the length. That part at the top, we shall mark 1.5 inches and draw a line. Then we shall be folding off that 1.5 inches, just like you see in the video, and then we shall just stitch it down. Then all around, we shall use 0.5 inches of sewing allowance. So moving on, we shall put the back and the front together, just like you see in the video. And on the wrong side, we shall first hold the sleeve out, and then we shall hem it, just like you see. And then after we have hemmed it, we shall then put it in that position, and then we shall sew down the side seam by 0.5 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. As you can see, I hemmed the sleeve, and after I did that, I went ahead to sew the side seam by 0.5 inches, and I also did that on the other side. just like you can see in the video. So the next thing is we're going to move on to that front neckline band, which was 4 inches wide. Like I told you, I joined 2 pieces together, and so at that seam line we're going to open it up, and then we shall press it down, and after that we shall put it on fold just like you see in the video, and then press it down with a flat iron. As you can see, I've already done that. So we're going to get the center of the back neckline that we notched, and then we shall match it with the seam line of the neckline band. So we shall turn it to the right side, and exactly at the back neckline center, we shall align it with that seam line of the neckline band, and then we shall just stitch it down all the way to the hem on both sides. As you can see in the video, I've already done that. That's how it looks on the right side. So the next thing is you'll have to press it down with a flat iron, and also go ahead to overlock the raw edges, but we shall do that later. First, we're going to match up the hemlines, and then we're going to find the position for the pockets. So from the shoulder point, we're just going to go down by 18 inches like I told you earlier, and then from the band, we're going to go in by 4 inches. You can also choose to go in from the seam line by 2.5 inches. So we shall just do that on both sides. And after we're done with that, we shall then go ahead and position the pockets. Like I told you earlier, at the top of the pocket, we shall fold it in like that, and then we shall hem it down, just like you see in the video. And then we shall then fold in the sides by 0.5 inches. And this is what it looks like when it's done. So we're just going to position it at those points, exactly like that. Then when we are done, we shall just pin it into position. Also, don't forget that you're only stitching this on the front piece and not on the back piece. So just go ahead and sew all around, apart from the top. As you can see, I've already done that. We shall go and press down the pockets with a flat iron, and then the next thing is we shall be overlocking all around those raw edges at the front neckline and also at the side seams. And after we're done overlocking, we shall then go ahead to hem the bottom, just like you see in the video. So let me go and do that. As you can see, I've done the overlocking, and then I've also gone ahead to do the hemming. And after we're done, this is what it's going to look like. We shall then just go ahead and press down all the parts of the outfit. Then we shall move on to working on our belt. The length of my belt was 64 inches, and then the width was 4 inches wide, just like you see in the video. So we're just going to turn it to the wrong side, and then we shall fold it in and then sew down by 0.5 inches. After we're done, as you can see in the video, we shall just open up the seam like that, and then we shall just stitch it down with a slanting line. This is what it looks like. We shall just trim off that excess. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to just turn it back to the right side. At this point, I already did that. This is what it looks like. This is the slant that we created on one side. On this other side, we closed it off by pushing in some fabric and stitching it down. I also put the seam line in the center and pressed it down with a flat iron. And that's what it looks like, guys. If the video was helpful, make sure to leave a like and a comment. Also, if you have any questions, leave that in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. And yes, guys, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.